Fire the Boss presents, My Automation Regrets in 2025, Niagara 4 Chicas FT700 Plus Therapy Session Fire, an absurdly detailed, airbagged, supercharged masterclass in what not to do, automobile intro, climb in the FT700 Plus Impala of regret. You see me now LinkedIn buzzing like a misconfigured BACnet MSTP network, YouTube views faster than a Tritium workbench compile, jobs rolling in like a Rockwell PLC on a firmware bender. But don't let the compressed air supercharger whine fool you. I got regrets. PLC regrets. DCS regrets. SCADA-sized why didn't I, regrets. So buckle up. We're taking the FuelTech FT700 Plus Impala on a ride through the dumbest mistakes I made, with the Niagara 4 Chicas as my therapists. Where they sit in the Impala matters. Precision equals power, seat driver seat, G, the schematics oracle, boots on the dash, reading electrical drawings like tarot cards. Her law. If you don't trace every wire, you're just guessing, and guessing gets you fired. Seat shotgun, Miriam McKay, the protocol assassin, wire shark open, sipping black coffee, muttering Ethernet/IP ain't a suggestion. Her law. Master the protocol, or the protocol masters you. Seat back left, Sky B, the PID whisperer, tuning loops like a DJ at a rave, making actuators dance smoother than airbag suspension. Her law. If your system oscillates, so will your career. Seat back right, the Tweedle twins, Lady Z and Sandra, the debugging duo, trunk dwelling, packet sniffing gremlins. Their law. If you don't interrogate your points list, the Queen of Hearts will interrogate you. High voltage. My biggest regrets, FT700 Plus ECU Edition, 1. Comfort zone cruising, like a limp mode PLC. Early in my career, I learned Siemens S7 and thought, I'm the king of ladder logic. Wrong. G slaps the dashboard, boss, you treated PLC brands like X's. Loyalty gets you nowhere. Should have learned, Omron, Schneider stack M like NOS bottles in the trunk. FT700 Plus ECU lesson, one trick tuning equals blown engine. Cross-brand skills equals boost pressure for life. 2. Ignoring cybersecurity, like a Jace with default creds. Back then, we said, OT systems ain't connected to the internet. Biggest lie since this firmware update is safe. Miriam McKay snorts, while you were tuning PIDs, hackers were SSHing into your SCADA like it was a free buffet. Should have learned, firewalls, VLANs, deep packet inspection before the ransomware hit. Airbagged suspension lesson, no security equals your career's ride height bottoms out. 3. Networking? LOL. Like an unterminated Rs 485 line, I treated IT networking like a dormouse snap optional. Sky B facepalms, boss, you can't subnet? You're out here broadcasting like a rogue DHCP server. Should have learned, switches, routing, VLANs the backbone of every modern plant. Compressed air supercharger lesson, no network knowledge equals no boost. No boost equals no speed. 4. Social media silence, like a muted alarm, I waited way too long to post my wins. Tweedle twins cackle from the trunk, you hid your skills like a secret BACnet MSTP baud rate. Should have done, posted every win, every fail, every WTF is this protocol, moment. Law 45, Lee applied make your reputation unavoidable like a critical alarm. Direct hit how to fix it, FT700 Plus Chicas prescription, keycap 1 stack skills like boost pressure schematics rightward arrow panels rightward arrow code rightward arrow then specialize. G, you don't tune the ECU before you build the engine, dummy. Keycap 2 secure your system like it's your pink slip. OT cybersecurity equals non-negotiable. Miriam McKay, default passwords are for rookies and the Queen's executioners. Keycap 3 network like your career depends on it, IT does, LinkedIn equals your digital control panel. Sky B, if you ain't trending, you're pending, deletion. Keycap 4 ask for help like it's free. NOS pride equals the enemy of progress. Tweedle twins, even the FT700 Plus needs a tuner sometimes. Fire final word, don't be old JJ. The Niagara 4 Chicas don't ride with should've, could've energy. Leah G shifts gears, regrets are just undocumented logic. Rewrite the code. Miriam McKay deploys logic, the past is a bad HMI. Redesign it. Sky B tunes the exit, next time, compress your learning like a supercharger, no lag. Tweedle twins kick the trunk open, now go post this video before we debug your life again. Dashing away, subscribe or get left in manual mode. QFT 700 Plus ECU revving into the sunset. KeyCO keywords, hashtag automation regrets, PLC, DCS, SCADA OT Cybersecurity, Learn Automation, Engineering Mistakes, Career Advice, Niagara 4, BACnet, Fuel Tech, FT 700 Plus, Industrial Protocols. Hashtag The Boss 2 Fire the Boss presents, Alice's Adventures in Automation Land, my Niagara 4 regrets down the protocol rabbit hole. Fire a Wonderland rewrite of my automation regrets in 2025, absurd, overclocked, and deeply out of spec. Whole Chapter 1, down the FT 700 Plus rabbit hole. Alice didn't fall into Wonderland this time, no sir. She skidded sideways in an airbagged, cherry red 1961 FT 700 Plus Impala, scraping the Queen's rose bushes at 2,500 RPM. Instead of chasing a white rabbit, she'd followed a rogue BACnet MSTP packet down a fiber optic cable and boom, woke up in automation land, where SCADA dashboards talked back and DCS controllers wore monocles. At the wheel? The Niagara 4 Chicas, with laptops glowing like mushroom spores and Wireshark running like a caffeinated caterpillar. Automobile seating chart, the chariot of regret. Crown driver seat, the Mad Hatter, recast as Leah G, the schematics oracle, stirring tea with a resistor, reading electrical diagrams like ancient spell scrolls. Law 26 in action, keep your hands clean, let the prince talk, you just sip the schematic tea. Hot beverage shotgun, the caterpillar, now Miriam McKay, the protocol assassin, blowing smoke rings that spell Modbus, mumbling who are you not securing your ports. Law 33 reigns, discover each man's thumbscrew. Miriam's is unencrypted traffic. Triggered. Headphone back left, the Cheshire Cat, Sky B, PID whisperer, smiling, tuning loops from invisible branches. Law 35, master the art of timing PID loops, Twitter posts, or launching an HMI at the Queen. It's all about tempo. Game Die Trunk, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, Lady Z and Sandra, the debugging duo, bickering over packet loss, dressed in striped VLAN shirts. Law 44, disarm and infuriate with the mirror effect. They mimic your config mistakes back at you until you scream. High voltage, the 4 SCADA sins, and how I blew my hat off, Firecracker 1. Comfort zone coding, like living in the Dormouse snap bubble. Once upon a logic loop, I said, Siemens S7 is all I need. Then the March Hare, Sky B, yelled, you fool. Ladder logic isn't a love letter, it's a passport. Books what I should have done, learned of Schneider and Omron like I was collecting Eat Me cookies. Every new PLC equals another byte of Wonderland logic. Vertical traffic light Wonderland lesson, one logic language equals one teacup. But the mad tea party never ends. Bring a stack. Locked with key 2. Who needs cybersecurity? Said the lizard before the firewall caught fire. OT systems aren't on the internet, I told the Duchess. Then the Knave of Hearts SSH'd into my SCADA and added execute all to the Queen's croquet match. Fire extinguisher Miriama, caterpillar style, puffed, no VLANs. You're basically inviting the Jabberwock over for soup. Shield Wonderland lesson, default creds equals painting your career targets red. 3. Networking. I thought that was for rabbits. Subnetting is for IT, I said. So the white rabbit handed me a brick switch, a DHCP conflict, and a flamingo. Collision Sky B grinned like the Cheshire Cat, you broadcast in the Queen's Court prepare for execution performing Art's Wonderland lesson, every byte in automation land has a backstory, and yours is stuck in manual. Loudspeaker 4. The muted alarm of social media. I was as silent as the executioner's lunch break. Didn't post. Didn't brag. Didn't warn. So the playing cards drew memes of my outdated firmware and pinned them across the rose garden. Speaking head Tweedle Twins chanted, he who fails to post his wins becomes the Queen's next trial. Speech balloon Wonderland lesson, document your journey like it's a prophecy, even the soup turene's testimony counts. Hammer and wrench FT700 plus Chicas Wonderland Fix-It Kit Keycap 1 build skills like a stacked deck schematics rightward arrow panels rightward arrow protocols rightward arrow magic mushroom cloud. Leah G, trace the wire, find the truth, or meet the Queen. Keycap 2 secure your logic like it's tea time with the Jabberwock firewall equals the Dormouse snap blanket. Miriama, encryption execution. Keycap 3 post like you're late for the caucus race hashtag WTFSBACnet, hashtag PID parade, hashtag JaceFace, SkyB, visibility is velocity. Keycap 4 ask for help before the dodo calls a meeting. The Griffin taught me, pride has no protocol. Tweedle Twins, help is a debug menu. Click it. Checkered flag final word from the Queen, and the FT700 plus engine block. Leah G, with a pocket watch and a growling trunk monkey regrets our rogue packets capture them. Miriama, the past is a broken dashboard. Redesign it. Sky B, compress your learning boost kicks in faster. Tweedle Twins, Unison post the damn video dashing away, and with a cloud of white roses and protocol smoke, the FT700 plus Impala hydroed into the Wonderland sunset. Keyseo keywords, filed by the Queen's Gardeners hashtag automationland, Niagara 4, FT700 plus, Protocol Party, BACnet Madness, PID Whisperer, Alice in SCADA Lund, Caterpillar Cybersecurity, SCADA Regrets, PLC Queen of Hearts. Would you like this formatted into a printable zine or visual storyboard next? Next topic. Fire the Boss presents, the FuelTech FT700 plus Chaos Cruise to Automation Land, with the Niagara 4 Chicas Fire where career lessons hit harder than a miswired contactor and learning automation feels like drag racing your resume into the job market at 200 miles per hour with a trunk full of logic loops. Checkered flag Chapter 1, you wanna learn automation? Strap in, we ain't using the brakes. Now listen here, sugar, if you think the fastest way to learn automation is by playin' it safe, talking that slow crawl from apprentice to PLC whisperer, baby, you done brought a bicycle to a pro mod race. I'm the boss, and I'm throwin' y'all in the compressed air supercharged, airbagged suspension, 1961 FT700 plus Impala of automation truth, tuned by none other than the Niagara 4 Chicas themselves. These ladies ain't just smart, they're wild, precise, chaotic, and deadly accurate like a BACnet packet in a Modbus party. So sit down, buckle in, and let's boost this knowledge straight through the firewall. We ain't trading credentials, we trade in laws of power. Automobile FT700 plus Chica seating chart, this matters. Precision equals power, crown driver's seat, Leah G, aka. The schematics oracle, got boots on the dash, eyes on the schematics like she's conjuring ancient code scrolls. Airbag suspension analogy, she's the ride height sensor, don't trace your wires right, and this whole build bottoms out. Law 26, keep your hands clean. Leah don't get greasy, she lets the print tell the story, while you catch the blame for that short circuit. Seat shotgun, Miriam McKay, the protocol assassin, coffee in one hand, wire shark in the other. Smells sniffing out broadcast storms like a bloodhound in a data center. Compressed air supercharger analogy, when she hits, it's instant torque, zero lag, all smackdown. Law 33, discover each man's thumbscrew. Miriam finds your weakest protocol and rips it open like a can of Red Bull at a Modbus orgy. Speaker high volume back left, Sky B, PID Whisperer, Loop DJ Supreme, tuning feedback loops smoother than this Impala's custom 2-step launch control. Airbag suspension analogy, Sky tunes every actuator like she's adjusting corner weight on race day. Law 35, master the art of timing. Too soon? System crashes. Too late? The Queen cuts off your BAC net. Sky hits it just right. Performing arts back right, the Tweedle twins, Lady Z and Sandra, packet debuggers and career therapists, living in the trunk, debugging life, and your resume with side eye and VLANs. Compressed air supercharger analogy, these girls don't spool up their on from ignition. Law 44, disarm and infuriate with the mirror effect. You misconfigure a JACE? They clone your mistakes and run M in demo mode during your job interview. Firecracker JJ's automation regrets, and why you don't wanna be me. Unless it's on the strip, cross mark 1. Ran one protocol, thought I was king, I was riding with Siemens S7 like it was a wedding ring. Never cheated, never explored. Leah G slapped my knee and said, JJ, this ain't monogamy, this is survival. Runab, Schneider, Omron, stack it like nitrous bottles. FT 700 plus lesson, one trick ECU tuners blow engines. Multi-protocol equals multi-boost. Cross mark 2. Left my cybersecurity in the ditch, OT ain't on the internet. Tell that to the knave of hearts, who SSH'd into my system using the Queen's cat password. Miriam McKay just sighed, you let unencrypted BAC net inside your firewall like it was a tea party. FT 700 plus lesson, your panel might be shiny, but if the VLANs open, your job is done. Cross mark 3. Treated networking like a rumor, didn't know how to subnet. Thought DHCP was some kind of race fuel. Sky B nearly launched the Impala out of shame, JJ, if you can't even configure a switch, your career's more wobbly than a loose tie rod. FT 700 plus lesson, no network knowledge equals limp mode ECU. Cross mark 4. Didn't post my wins equals career flatline, I was quiet as a muted alarm on a weekend. Tweedle twins said, JJ, you're out here hiding your skills like a bad BAC net instance on an unsecured trunk line. FT 700 plus lesson, post your wins. Post your losses. Post that time you wired the VFD backwards. Law 35 plus Law 44 equals make M remember your loop, not your silence. Collision, how to burn rubber straight into automation care. Erland keycap 1 stack skills like turbo stages start with schematics. Then code. Then panels. Then protocols. Then go fancy with Tritium, Niagara 4, and OT cybersecurity. Leah, don't be out here tuning a fuel tech ECU with no idea where the fuses go. Keycap to protect your setup like you're guarding pink slips VLANs. Port security. Subnet discipline. Miriam, you don't lock your door after the Jabberwock walks in. Keycap 3 show up online or get run over IRL. LinkedIn ain't a luxury, it's a launch control. Sky, visibility is voltage, baby. Keycap 4 ask for help like you're out of NOS on race day, ain't nobody self-made in automation land. Tweedle twins, even this Impala needed a tuner. Wrench final burnout from the boss himself, don't be like old JJ, run in silent, tune in wrong, missin' the race while fumbling your port settings. Leah, regrets are just burnt out relays. Replace M. Miriam, your firewall is a mirror, show M what you want M to fear. Sky, don't oscillate, dominate. The twins, either you post now, or we post your debug logs for you. Dashing away, subscribe or get stuck in manual mode. Hashtag Niagara 4 Chicas, FT 700 plus Impala, automation regrets, Tritium torque, BAC net babes, PLC posse, fuel tech fury, law of power tuned EC us, Don TB in limp mode. Want me to turn this into a video script, visual zine, or printable career roadmap? I got you, boss. Alice's Absurd Automation Adventures in Wonderland, a Mad Hatter's Guide to Industrial Career Regrets, with 300% more chaos and Niagara for Chicas, Chapter 1, Down the Broken OPCUA Rabbit Hole. One dreadfully ordinary afternoon, Alice, a junior controls engineer with more enthusiasm than common sense, was staring at a Siemens TIA portal error message that made about as much sense as the dormouse explaining Modbus RTU over carrier pigeon. Suddenly, a frantic white rabbit in a high-vis vest sprinted past, clutching a corrupted Niagara 4 license file and screaming, "I'm late! I'm late!" The commissioning deadline was yesterday. Curious, and slightly reckless, Alice chased after him only to trip over an unterminated RS-485 cable and plunge headfirst into a gaping PLC cabinet. Instead of relays and terminal blocks, she found herself tumbling through floating IP addresses that changed like the Cheshire Cat's grin, rogue multicast traffic buzzing like the Queen's angry croquet hedgehogs, the mock turtle sobbing over unsaved tritium workflows. Well, purred the Cheshire IT guy, his body flickering like a failing Ethernet switch. Lost in the subnet, are we? Chapter 2, The Mad Hatter's Never-Ending Software Update. Alice stumbled upon the glitchiest tea party in automation land, hot beverage. The Mad Hatter, a burnt-out integrator slamming Red Bull while screaming, "Why is a raven like a writing desk?" Because both crash when you overload the buffer. Rabbit the March Hare, frantically swapping Ethernet cables like a blackjack dealer, it's the termination. Know the shielding. Know the phase of the moon. Mouseface the dormouse, curled inside a Honeywell manual, murmuring, "ZZZ. Should have written unit tests, ZZZ." Laptop computer Tweedledee and Tweedledum, the IT/OT departments arguing over, "You disabled spanning tree. No, you set the QoS wrong." Alice sipped from a cup labeled "Eat Me, Python Crash Course BZZT, her arms started flailing like a hunting actuator with bad tuning. Chapter 3, The Queen's Brutal Code Review. Off with their uncommented code, roared the Queen of Hearts, riding a Festo pneumatic cylinder while juggling 3 HMIs. Before her stood the Knave of Hearts, a rogue subcontractor, accused of hard-coding IP addresses. First offense, using admin credentials. Second offense, skipping change management docs. Capital offense, the King of Hearts, the clueless client, adjusted his safety goggles. Objection overruled. Guilty. Sentence, 5 years maintaining COBOL systems. Chapter 4, The Caterpillar's Cryptographic Wisdom. Perched on a tritium Niagara mushroom, the caterpillar blew SSL certificate smoke rings. "Who are you?" he asked between encrypted puffs. "I'm just an automation engineer," Alice stammered. "Wrong," bellowed the caterpillar. Asterisk, you are an engineer who ignored layer 2 security, treated VLANs as optional, married one PLC brand like the Duchess married her pepper grinder. Asterisk, he offered Alice 2 sides of his mushroom. Mushroom eat me, OT cybersecurity cert. Mushroom drink me, subnetting for dummies. Chapter 5, The Mock Turtle's Career Lament. By the shore of an OPCUA server, the Mock Turtle sang with the Griffin, round and round the CI/CD goes, where it fails, nobody knows. If your code's not tested well, you'll debug it until you're old and frail. Chapter 6, Alice's Automation Awakening. With a jolt, Alice woke at her desk, a TIA portal alert blinking, warning 0-day exploit detected. She sighed, opened LinkedIn, and typed, seeking industrial cybersecurity courses. Also, any PLC programmers who version control. Fire. Moral of this digital madness. Rabbit the White Rabbit equals running late from poor sprint planning. Law 35, master timing. Crown the Queen equals demanding perfect code with no test envs. Law 33, find thumbscrews. Bug the caterpillar equals the mentor you ignored. Law 44, mirror then surpass. Joker Tweedle twins equals ITVSOT blame game. Law 26, keep hands clean. In automation wonderland, the only way out is through continuous upskilling lest you end up maintaining legacy systems in the Queen's server dungeon. Post-credit scene, the Jabberwocky emerges as an unpatched zero-day exploit. Hashtag Automation Wonderland, hashtag OT Cybersecurity, hashtag PLC Madness, hashtag Niagara 4 Chicas, hashtag Alice in Automation Hell. Subscribe or be sentenced to ladder logic maintenance. Next topic. Fire the Boss presents 2025 Automation Regrets. Ride in dirty in the FuelTech FT700 Plus Impala with the Niagara 4 Chicas. Fire, a compressed air supercharged, airbagged masterclass in what not to do. Oncoming automobile intro. Why my Impala's check engine light is blinking. Ego too big. You see me now. 38k LinkedIn followers buzzing like a misconfigured BACnet network. YouTube algorithm feeding me steak dinners, landing GE and government gigs like they're free NOS samples. But let's keep it realier than a Jace with default credentials. I got regrets. PLC sized regrets. DCS level. Why was I so dumb? Regrets. So climb in the FuelTech FT700 Plus Impala of shame, where, seat driver seat, the boss, gripping the wheel like it's a miswired emergency stop, airbag suspension set to harsh reality mode. FT700 Plus ECU flashing diagnostic code, ego too big. Seat shotgun, Leah G, the schematics shaman, boots on the dash, dissecting my career like a faulty wiring diagram. Boss, you built your rep like a rookie's first control panel. No labels, just hope. Seat back left, Miriam McKay, the protocol punisher, sipping black coffee, muttering should have VLAN'd your life sooner. Seat back right, Sky B, the PID psychiatrist, graphing my career oscillations like a rogue control loop. Hammer and wrench trunk, Tweedle twins, Lady Z and Sandra, the debugging mafia, duct tape to a stack of unsaved Tritium workflows. We found your early code. It's worse than an uncommented function block. High voltage. My 5 biggest regrets. FT700 Plus ECU diagnostic report. 1. Comfort zone cruising, like a PLC in stop mode. Thought learning one PLC brand, Siemens, made me king. Wrong. Leah G slams the glove box. Boss, you treated ladder logic like a monogamous marriage in a polyamorous industry. Should've mastered Rockwell, Schneider, Omron. Stacked M like NOS bottles in the trunk. Law 20 analogy, don't commit to one brand. Stay fluid like a well-tuned PID loop. 2. Ignoring cybersecurity, like a Jace with admin, bought the lie, OT networks ain't connected to the internet. Miriam McKay laughs like a breached firewall. While you tuned PIDs, hackers were mapping your SCADA like a GPS to Fort Knox. Should've learned firewalls, VLANs, zero trust before the ransomware hit. Law 24 analogy, play the perfect courtier. Adapt to the Queen's cyber rules before she sentences you. 3. Networking. I'll do it later, like an unterminated Rs 485 line. Avoided IT like it was a Modbus exception code. Sky B facepalms. Boss, you subnet like my grandma drives. No lanes, no rules, pure chaos. Should've mastered switches, routing, packet sniffing. The backbone of modern OT. Compressed air supercharger lesson, no network knowledge equals your career's boost pressure flatlines. 4. Social media silence, like a muted alarm, posted nothing while others trend. Tweedle twins from the trunk, you hid your wins like a secret BACnet MSTP baud rate. Should've documented every win/fail. Made my rep louder than a VFD at full tilt. Law 25 analogy, recreate yourself post like the new improved JJ Daily. 5. Asking for help equals weakness. Like a faulty dip point, too shy to ask seniors basic questions. Leah G throws a schematic at my head. Pride ain't a diagnostic tool, boss. Should've used mentors like the FT700 Plus uses sensors. Feedback is data. Law 35 analogy, master the art of timing. Ask when they're most likely to say yes. Wrench the Chicas prescription, FT700 Plus tuned solutions, keycap 1. Stack skills like boost pressure. Week 1, schematic literacy, Leah's Wiring for Dummies Crash Course, Week 2, Control Panel Autopsy, Tweedle Twins Trunk-Based Trauma Training, Week 3, Protocol Fluency, Miriam's BACnet or Die Immersion, Keycap to secure your rep like a firewall. LinkedIn equals your digital control panel. Post everything. No one hires a ghost, JJ. Sky B, deleting my cringe excuses. Keycap 3 network like your career depends on it, IT does, coffee chats coffee breaks. Mentors memes. Microphone final word, don't be 2015 JJ. The Niagara 4 Chicas don't ride with could've, should've energy. Leah G shifts to drive, regrets are just undocumented logic. Rewrite the code. Miriam McKay deploys firewall rules, the past is an unsecured VLAN. Segment it. Sky B tunes the outro, your career's setpoint is 10x higher now stop underselling. Tweedle Twins kick the trunk open, next video better show proof you learned or we're debugging your life again. Dashing away smash subscribe before the Queen of Hearts cancels your certifications. QFT 700 plus ECU revving into the sunset, trailing burnt ladder logic. KeyCO keywords, hashtag automation regrets, PLC, cybersecurity, learn automation, OT networking, industrial protocols, SCADA, DCS, career advice, engineering mistakes, the boss, Niagara 4, BACnet, fuel tech, FT 700 plus. 2 Fire Alice's automation land adventures, chaos on compressed air, with the FT 700 plus Wonderland crew fire, as narrated by the boss if he crash landed in Wonderland with a fuel tech FT 700 plus ECU and a dream full of logic loops and life regrets. Whole chapter 1, down the VFD shaft she goes. Alice didn't fall into Wonderland. No, baby girl airdropped straight into it, riding an airbagged 1961 lowrider Impala, ECU chirping like a Jace mid reboot. She'd been tinkering with a fuel tech FT 700 plus and accidentally cross-wired reality, landing in a dimension of compressed air superchargers and logic-laced lunacy. Police car light diagnostic alert, ego overflow subsystem, identity crisis suggested remedy, law 25, recreate yourself, preferably with VLANs, Rabbit chapter 2, the White Rabbit and the late stage startup. I'm late, shouted the White Rabbit, sprinting past Alice holding a busted HMI screen with a barcode scanner strapped to it. Late for what? Alice yelled. To configure my BACnet objects before the Queen audits my loop integrity. The Rabbit, clearly lacking VLAN segmentation, trips over his own time server and mutters something about MQTT brokers before disappearing into a server room mushroom. Law 35 applied, master the art of timing or watch your career loop endlessly. Bug chapter 3, the Caterpillar is a Modbus device. Alice finds a Caterpillar lounging on a rusted DIN rail, smoking a pipe wired to an RTU. Who are you? It hisses. I think I used to be a mechanical engineer. The Caterpillar toggles a dip switch. Wrong address. You're now a freelance OT integration specialist with too much ego and no subnetting skills. Law 20 engaged, don't commit to one identity. Be fluid. Like analog input scaling. Hot beverage chapter 4, the Mad Tea Party, of faulty networking. Alice is forced to attend a tea party hosted by the Mad Hatter, March Hare, and the Dormouse, all gathered around a Wi-Fi router running SCADA. Would you like some tea or maybe a segmented VLAN? Asked the Hatter, pouring hot MQTT into a teacup labeled OPCUA. But this tea smells like diesel and regret, Alice observed. That's because we never configured QoS, they howled in unison. Sky B floats by in a logic loop cloud, you subnet like a drunk Jabberwock. Law 24 activated, play the perfect courtier. Adapt to the madness and nod at the Queen's firewall policies. Red Heart Chapter 5, the Queen of Hearts Cybersecurity Audit. The Queen of Hearts runs an OT compliance division with an iron scepter and 600 Power BI dashboards. Alice is put on trial for opening port 502 to the entire kingdom. Off with her credentials, screamed the Queen. The Knave of Hearts tried to pin the network breach on Alice, but Tweedledee and Tweedledum arrived, dragging a trunk full of Alice's security logs, NAC configs, and one very angry IDS. Law 25 again, reinvent yourself in real time. And carry backup configs. Brain Chapter 6, The Mock Turtle's Tale of Regret. The Mock Turtle, now a retired FT700 Plus tuner, sobs uncontrollably. I spent years avoiding Python. I thought XML would last forever. Alice handed him a Jupyter notebook and a juice box. You should have subnet, old friend. Law 20 echoes, adapt or evaporate. Even turtles gotta run ST code eventually. Dragon Chapter 7, Slaying the Jabberwock of Self-Doubt. Alice straps in the FT700 Plus Impala revs. The Jabberwock looms large, a flaming ball of indecision, social media silence, and uncommented ladder logic. She powers up, ECU flashes, Law 35, strike while the mentor is online. Trunk opens, Tweedle twins hand her a drive with every bug she ever ignored. She floors it. Compressed air supercharger screams. The Jabberwock explodes in a cloud of SCADA diagrams and imposter syndrome. Clapperboard epilogue, Alice's exit interview. As the Wonderland fades, Alice returns to her desk, FT700 Plus humming. No more ego, no more fear of subnet masks. She applies for 3 automation jobs with a GitHub portfolio, secure VLANs, and a T-set labeled encrypted MQTT only. The Cheshire Cat grins from a ping graph. The Duchess emails her a reference letter from a.onion domain. The flamingos high-five her as she submits her second patent. Final ECU message, fire Law 20, float like a protocol, sting like a packet. Fire Law 24, dress like a DevOps, talk like a courtier. Fire Law 25, be whoever your career needs until they hire all versions of you. Fire Law 35, wait for the right moment and automate it. Key CO tags for the chaos engineers, hashtag Alice in Automation Land, Fuel Tech FT700 Plus, PLC regrets, subnet masks matter, compressed air careers, Niagara 4 chaos, BACnet madness, MQTT madness, Don TB like 2015 Alice, control panel drama, SCADA Queen's Court. Wanna take this to a poster, comic book, or video pitch deck for a wild engineering career guide? Say the word, we'll get the White Rabbit coding in Node-RED. Next topic. Fire the Boss presents, Chapter 11, Ride in Dirty through Extended Backnet with the Niagara 4 Chicas in the FT700 Plus Impala of Absurdity. Fire, an airbagged, supercharged, chaos level 10 ride into automation madness. Oncoming automobile stage set, Fuel Tech FT700 Plus Impala, where Backnet and Niagara 4 get tuned like life lessons. Location check, every chick has a role just like every byte in a BACnet stack. Driver seat, me, the boss holding the wheel tighter than a loose Rs 485 terminal. ECU chirpin'. Airbag suspension set to ridiculous. Compressed air supercharger hissing like a pissed off Modbus snake. Shotgun, Leah G, the Schema Supreme feet on the dash, hair braided like Cat 6 cable, reading the pics, protocol implementation conformance statement, out loud like it's gospel. JJ, conformance class 2 ain't optional, it's mandatory like a grounding wire in a panel. Back left, Miriam McKay, the object type outlaw surrounded by proprietary BACnet objects taped to 3 ring binders. This one? She's a non-standard enumeration. Makes the FT700 Plus twitch if you don't tag her right. Back right, Sky B, the interoperability which Graphene device profiles while tuning her air freshener with BIBS compatibility settings. Don't try to bind a multi-state input to an analog output, JJ. That's how you crash a Queen's croquet game. Trunk, Tweedle Lady Z and Tweedle Sandra, the debugging mafia duct taped to a custom BACnet stack emulator, yellin' through the baseport, you tried to declare a proprietary service without defining the network message? Off with your addressing. Dear Chapter 11, Extending and Specifying BACnet, while doing donuts in the parking lot of Protocol Hell, Wrench Point 1 Extended Enumerations, Law 33, discover each man's thumbscrew. Leah G flips the glove box open, out falls a scroll of extended enumerations. JJ, she says, every custom BACnet object got a weak spot, usually hiding behind an unregistered property. You wanna bend the system? Find its thumbscrew, baby. Police car light analogy mode, extended enumerations equals NOS. You snuck into a stock ECU. Use Omron. Boom, ride ends in fire and factory resets. Lesson, know your vendor's limit. Play inside that, or override the FT700 Plus like a blind rookie on tune night. Wrench Point 2 Proprietary Object Types, Law 26, keep your hands clean. Miriam tosses one out the window. Look here, boss, this one's proprietary AF. Built it myself. Did you document it? Nah. Let the integrator sweat. I just pass the blame to the firmware. Police car light analogy mode, proprietary objects equals illegal upgrades in your street racer. You didn't install M, your buddy did. Just like Law 26 says, blame flows downhill. Wrench Point 3 Proprietary Properties of Standard Object Types, Law 44, disarm with the mirror, reflect their assumptions. Sky B adjusts her side mirror, literally. JJ, they expect present underscore value, but bam. I give M boss underscore mode underscore status instead. Analogy mode, this is like showing up to a ladder logic interview with Python scripts. They expected one thing, you showed M something they couldn't classify. Mirror playing hard. Wrench Point 4 Proprietary Services, Law 20, do not commit to anyone. Tweedle twins yell from the trunk, JJ. Stop binding yourself to standard BACnet services. These are our rules now. Police car light analogy mode, custom service equals your own racing line. Not in the rule book. Not illegal, not safe, just fast and chaotic. Exactly how we like it. Law 20 rides shotgun here. Don't commit to OSHRI rules if you've already got Niagara 4 Chicas writing their own protocols. Wrench Point 5 Proprietary Network Layer Messages. Miriam cuts in. Proprietary network messages are like encrypted love letters between rogue controllers. Alice's rabbit hole, don't go as deep as this mess. We're talking cross-platform VPN tunnels with custom headers and undocumented TTLs. Sky B tunes her scope. If Wireshark can't see it, then it don't exist, until it bricks your switch. Magnifying glass tilted left. 11.2 Designing and Specifying BACnet Systems, where JJ's regrets get schematized. Hammer and Wrench Point 1 Conformance Classes and Functional Groups. Leah G sips brake fluid, or coffee. Unclear. Conformance classes are like race classes. Don't bring a tricycle to a pro mod race, JJ. If you don't know your device's conformance class, you best step out of the car. Hammer and Wrench Point 2 Interoperability Areas, Device Profiles, and Bibs. Sky B throws a bib in the cup holder. Bibs. They're the Bluetooth profiles of the BACnet world. Mix the wrong ones and you'll end up in the Queen of Hearts audit queue faster than a bad node ID on a shared MSTP. Hammer and Wrench Point 3 The PIC Statement, Protocol Implementation Conformance Statement. Miriam waves a crumpled PIX like a speeding ticket. This paper says everything you claim you support, kinda like the Fast and Furious crew lying about stock motors. JJ, she growls, if your FT700 Plus says it supports change of value, and it don't? That's perjury in BACnet court. Hammer and Wrench Point 4 Suggestions from the field. Tweedle twins chime in. Always isolate power and logic like your career depends on it, cause it does. Document your extensions or don't whine when Niagara 4 crashes harder than a boosted carburetor on diesel. BACnet is a framework, not a suggestion. You better declare it, define it, debug it, and dance with it. Collision. Final message from the FT700 Plus ECU, JJ, your extended enumeration game's strong, but your picks still got holes bigger than a broadcast storm. Brain takeaway from the boss, Law 33, know every enum and extension, that's how you get people to bend. Law 26, don't let them trace the crash back to you. Law 44, feed them what they expect, but throw a mirror in the code. Law 20, never commit to standard objects. Life's better when you define your own. Wrench. Next video, Death by MSTP, how not to wire your twisted pair. Dashing away. Smash that subscribe before the queen of BACnet sniffs your VLAN and blocks your credentials at the firewall. Wanna take this into comic form, poster, or even a tritium themed rap battle? Just say the word, and we'll light this ignition with 48 volts of unapologetic protocol chaos. Next topic. What is protocol in context of BAS building automation? Minig.